So in this video, we're going to learn how to create classic load balancer and enable the classic load balancer to distribute traffic to your backend servers. So let's assume that you have a cloud server, an EC2 instance, and you've deployed an Apache web server or maybe Nginx or Apache, anything, okay? And in that server, maybe there's your website running, okay? And you have more than one server. Okay, so maybe they have 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. Okay, and you want a mechanism that can equally distribute traffic to these particular instances and also do load balancing, right? So in that regard, AWS provide services that's called elastic load balancing. So elastic load balancing is a mechanism that enables you to equally distribute traffic to the registered targets. Okay, all right. So maybe before I start doing the practical part of classic load balancer configuration, it's very important that you go to AWS public documentation. We just write AWS CLB, okay, then classic load balancer, and you do the theory part. Is very important. Okay, all right, perfect. So basically, so let's learn how to configure classic load balancer. In this regard, we are going to configure classic load balancer such that our client can access our resources hosted behind it over HTTP port 80 or HTTP port 8080. These are called listeners on the classic load balancer or on an entire load balancer. Okay, so you can either on a classic load balancer you can do HTTP, HTTPS listener, TCP as well as SSL. So you can do TCP, SSL listeners or HTTP or HTTPS listeners on classic load balancer. Okay, all right. So in this regard, we are going to do HTTP listener. Okay, all right. So without any further ado, let's go to our AWS management console and create a load balancer. First of all, when you check on this diagram, you have to deploy your Apache servers, okay, on port 80. So I already have 2 servers, which are Ubuntu servers, and those 2 servers we have Apache running on port 80. Okay. All right, and if I can test, I think I have 2 EC2 instances here. If I can just test, you just test with the public IP address. Okay, so I copy the public IP address and I paste here. You can see it's working, and as well this one. So this tells that I have my website in these 2 servers. Okay, so I want to use the load balancer. I don't want to directly access them this way. Okay, I want to use the load balancer to access them. Perfect. So let's go to the load balancing. The load balancer you find under EC2. Okay, so you go here, load balancers, and click create. When you click create, you won't find classic load balancer on the first appearance. Why? Because classic load balancer is a legacy load balancer. Okay, it's coming to actually an end. You can see it's here, the previous generation. Because we have AWS have created more advanced and more secure load balancers that it recommends the customer to use. So you can either use application balancer, network load balancer, or gateway load balancer. So let me just go with classic load balancer. So classic load balancer, you can just name it CLB. Okay, then the scheme. The scheme determines where you want to access your resources, where your clients are. So if your clients are actually inside the VPC, you need to go with internal. But if your client are over the internet or over the world, you need to go with the internet facing. Okay, all right. Then network mapping, ensure you choose your VPC. Okay, perfect. Then availability, ensure you choose at least 2, because load balancer ensures that even if one availability zone is down, the traffic will be served by the next availability zone. Okay, all right. Then ensure you choose the correct security group that allows access. Okay, all right. Then we go under listeners and routing. Under listeners and routing, we're going to define classical balance and right listeners as well as the instance protocol and port. Okay, so when you go back to our diagram here, we want to access our resources over HTTP port 80 and HTTP port 88, and the server is actually running on port 80, Apache default port. Okay, so let me go back here, and the listener part will be port 80. That's okay for the first option. Okay, all right. Then the instance port, Apache runs on port 80, so that's just okay. Okay, then add another listener on port 8080, because if you see here, we as well want to access our load balancer over port 8080, but the backend remains on port 80. Okay, all right. You can see the instance port is still port 80. So if your instance port is running on a custom port, maybe port 8080 or port 8081, just include it there, whatever your backend service are running on. Okay, perfect. Then health checks. So periodically the load balancer checks whether these registered servers are active and able to serve traffic. How does it do that? It sends health checks probe or ping. Are you there? So if the server replies, then the load balancer marks it healthy. If the server does not reply, the load balancer will mark it unhealthy because it did not reply to the ping request. Okay, all right. So basically, our backend is running on port 80, HTTP port 80, Apache, and the default port, the default path of Apache is always this one. Okay, all right. Then we need to register our instances. We have 2 instances here. Confirm, and that's all. And create the load balancer. All right. So while the load balancer is creating, I'll just the load balancer is creating, I'll just click on it, and we have to wait until the status turn to in service. Okay. All right. So let me just explain a few things here. The listeners. So these are the listeners. These one and these are the listeners. But this one and this one are the instance protocol and port, whatever your backend servers are running. Apache runs on port 80 HTTP. But the listeners on how you access your application. You want to access your application on port 80 or port 88 or another port. So you include it here, okay? So this is what we see here, okay? Network mapping deals with the subnets, the VPC, okay? The security deals with the security group. Health checks, like I mentioned that periodically the load balancer tests whether the instances are available and are able to serve traffic. So that's what happened there. Target instances, you see, 2 of them. So we have to wait until they become in service. You can see instance registration is in progress, okay? Then monitoring. So I provide CloudWatch metrics through which you can monitor your load balancer in regards to an LTOS count, a LTOS count, latency, etc., okay? And attributes as well. There are a lot of configuration that you can do here, okay? All right, so let's try to refresh this one. Yep. So you see, the 2 instances are in service, okay? So how do we test? How do we test this workflow or traffic flow? AWS by default provide a DNS name, unique DNS name for each load balancer that is created with AWS. Okay. All right. So how do you find the DNS name here? Okay. So you can test your backend by using this one or just creating a route 53 record. But in this case, we're not going to create a route 53 record. Let's try directly with this one. So just go to your website and just type your browser, HTTP, that one, and port 80, and hit enter. And let's see whether it's, yeah, perfect, it connects. Perfect. So you can even refresh, same thing, refresh, same thing. So we've tested on port 80. So let's test on port 88. So I go to this next tab and change port to port 88 and hit enter. So let's see whether it connects or not. It's taking time. Perfect. As well, port 8080 works. Okay. But maybe let's try. I've only registered listeners on port 80 and port 8080, meaning we can only access our load balancer on the two ports. So let's try to use a port that I didn't register. 80, 80, 90. Okay, it won't connect because the load balancer is not configured to listen on port 8090. The load balancer is only configured to listen on port 80 and 8080. Thank you so much, guys. I believe you've learned how to configure classic load balancer, create listeners, as well as register servers to that classic load balancer and test from a client. So in the next video, let's learn how to implement this. Okay, let's learn how to access the backend using our custom domain by just inserting a routed 3 here. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much, and I believe you have a good day. Bye bye.